with Realtor Nagraj Annaya every Sunday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. PST on Bolly 92.3 FM.
Namaskar, Bay Area. I'm Vijay Lakshmi with Real Estate Roundup, your exclusive peek into Bay Area real estate and what you need to know to ace this space. Brought to you by nagrajhomes.com and its founder, Nagraj Annaya, your trusted Bay Area tech realtor. So, as I get talking to Nagraj, you are most welcome to join the conversation with your thoughts and questions on Bay Area real estate market today. Have you been having a challenging time getting your foot into the door of your dream home? Or perhaps you've been hesitating taking that first step? Or wondering if now's a good time to sell your home, to upgrade or downsize? Well, whatever's on your mind real estate wise, we'd love to hear from you. And Nagraj can talk you through all of those situations and more. Studio lines are open on Bolly 92.3 FM. You can call us at 408-912-5038. That number, 408-912-5038. And we are also simulcasting on YouTube. That's Nagraj Annaya's YouTube channel. You can catch us there live right now. Go into the live tab and you'll see us there. You can put your questions in the comment section as well, and we'll take it from there. And with that, let me welcome Nagraj. Happy Sunday, Nagraj.
Hello, Vijay Lakshmi. Hello, Bay Area. Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining us today. We are live on YouTube simultaneously. Any questions, do leave it there or give us a call. We are live on the studio today.
Yeah, we're live, and 408-912-5038 is the number I'll leave with you to get your calls coming in. And
they can ask anything on the real estate.
Yeah. Anything on your mind, it would really appeal to the community at large listening as well. So you'll be doing everybody a favor. So don't hesitate. Give us a call and get your questions sorted. At least, real estate is such an overwhelming prospect these days. And to have help to talk you through all of the areas, big and small, Nagraj Annaya is there.
Yeah, I think we were discussing before the show also how the Sunnyvale, right?
Yeah.
Who has been changed from last 15 years, 20 years, right? Like, I think when people bought in 20 years, Sunnyvale, the people were thinking Sunnyvale.
Yes. Sunnyvale. Yeah.
Now you see the prices, how one big company coming in there, right?
Transformed the whole of Sunnyvale.
Whole neighborhood. You can see the minimum 1,200 square footage, 1,300 square footage is being listed at 3 million or close to 2.8 million.
Yeah, I live in Sunnyvale. So when I go around my neighborhood, I'm amazed to see the prices.
The transformation hours happened, right?
Absolutely.
You might have felt that time the price is too high. Is it a right time to the buy, right?
Yeah.
But the 22 years of journey or 20 years into the house, you can see the things what has built in, right? Like a transformation of the wealth also. I was reading one more thing on the last week.
Yeah.
Wealthiest cities or the wealthiest persons come from the San Francisco around South Bay area. It's two things. Education, right? I was thinking about that's the right thing, right? Education plays a very, very critical role, and the families which brings up in, right? Education gives a transformation, especially husband and wife bringing in a lot of money through an education or like the work, whatever they're working in IT right now.
Yeah.
That is the key role in the Bay Area, right?
That has boosted the whole economy.
Ask me if the prices go down. Are you seeing the engineers going down? Are you seeing? I know the job wise might be a little bit slow down, but is it requirements has gone down? No. As people started working on a creative, less jobs on a creative wise? No. There are a lot of requirements for a creative wise. And a lot of startup booms were there. I think I just discussed 2 to 3 weeks back how many startups are interested to do creative stuff.
Yeah.
These things opens up a door for the Bay Area.
So talking about that, Nagraj, so another thing, real estate, the brokerage firm Redfin found that 33.4%, like 1/3 of buyers basically opted for all cash deals in April, which is highest since 2014. And of course, they're talking nationwide, and where in the West Coast, in the Bay Area, where all cash deals are the least, they say, in terms of San Jose, Seattle, Oakland, all of these places, which the prices have soared, but all cash deals have not. But I was curious what you are seeing in the market.
I had listed a house for 1.85, single family home in Santa Clara. I got an offer for 1.8 cash only.
Wow.
It's been sold for 1.8 cash only offer. See, still there are a lot of buyers with the cash buyers right now. Okay. So what they do there are two things. One is the investors buy it. They give it for like basically for rental for 1 year. The house was bought for 1.88. It's been listed for a rental for $6,000 in the Santa Clara area, right? That is too high, but as an investor, they can always, because on a cash only, they bought it.
Yeah.
Right? Second thing is, a lot of people buy it for the investment to fix it up and sell it back. One house in Sunnyvale was bought for 2.2 million. Cash only. They closed within 7 days. Good thing about the cash buyers, they closed very fast. Within 7 days, they closed. They took 40 days to fix up the house, up to 300 to 350K upgrades. They relisted the house after the upgrades for 2.8 million.
Wow. Okay.
It's expected to sell faster when the house is ready. Right. Coming back to your question, yes, I see a lot of cash buyers are there. Any houses which is been listed, there are like 2 to 3 cash buyers for sure will be there. One recently 2 weeks back, there was one house in Santa Clara they got 22 offers. In that one, 3 were cash buyers. Typically, the cash buyers will try to come with the low numbers, but the risk over like basically takes them, right, or accept the offer. Fast closing, if the loan doesn't go through, if the house has a lot of upgrades needs to be done, right, cash buyers might be an alternative for them, because the mortgages, usually they do the inspection of the house. If the house is not livable condition, traditional loans might not qualify. There's a risk out that house to be sold, right, can't be sold. So that is why going with the cash buyers is an advantage.
I see.
There's a lot of cash buyers out there in the Bay.
Okay. There are a lot of, so you're seeing a lot of that as well.
That's been a trend already from a couple of years. A lot of cash buyers out there. And even for 2.2 million up to 2.2 or more, you can see the cash buyers.
So folks, if you have just joined this conversation, you're listening to Real Estate Roundup with Nagraj Anneya, your trusted Bay Area realtor and the founder of nagrajhomes.com. Each week, we have a conversation on what's hot happening and trending in Bay Area real estate. So if you have real estate on your mind, any aspect of it, you'd like to bounce it off Nagraj, give us a call right now. We have 408-912-5038 is the number in the studios. That's 408-912-5038. And we are also live on YouTube, on Nagraj Anneya's YouTube channel. So whichever mode you want to get in touch with there for you, and Nagraj would be more than happy to talk you through any questions that you have surrounding Bay Area real estate, so that you can go into any deal fully equipped in whatever you're trying to do, whether that's buying, selling, investing, refinancing your home. This is the place you've got to be. And of course, this conversation will be on YouTube as well. So if you miss any part of it, you can always check it out back on YouTube live section, right? So that's good to know. Yes, Nagraj, you were saying?
So let me tell you the story, one of the story of me, a recent client's experience. Okay?
Yeah.
So this show is all about education, educating about the right investments. Okay?
Yes.
So giving them the input so that they can make a right decisions. One wrong decision is not the end of the world, right? That's what we try to educate. It's always especially real estate or any other investment comes up with a risk. There is nothing called no risk, right? So there was one client who was telling me, Nagraj, I had a lot of Tesla stocks. And I saw like a couple of years back before the Tesla stocks goes up, but I was in a hurry to sell it, right? I had an 100K worth of stocks, right? But I was in a hurry to sell. I sold it fast. But after I sold, Tesla stock went up crazy, right? But he was telling me there's one more example in the Roku, right?
Yeah.
Like Roku stocks, it was also doing really good, right? He was telling in like you hold on the stocks for the longer time than expected. But if you see the Roku stock scenario, its stocks went down.
Yeah,
Right?
they tanked. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's always the investment wise, you don't know how it goes in. Okay. It holding too long is also a risk.
Holding too short.
Also risk. It's always comes up with the risk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is nothing like if somebody knows like it can something happen in next 2-3 years, or if any investor says that I know what's happening, it's wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Nobody doesn't know how it goes in.
Yeah.
So losing any money, it's just a lose of a paper, a lose of an watch, which is that's okay. It's not the end of the world, right?
Yes.
It's okay to make some small mistakes and learn from that and go past it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not hung up on what's happening.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah. So just take it in your
For example,
stride, dust yourself
if you
off.
bought a house for high price last year, it doesn't mean that it will not bounce back. You can see it's bouncing back.
Yeah.
But it takes some time. Always give yourself some time when you bought it for a house for a good
Right.
higher price.
Right. So again, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Real Estate Roundup. I'm Vijay Lakshmi talking to Nagraj Anaya of nagrajhomes.com, who can help you achieve your lifestyle dreams in the Bay Area. And you can bring your his experience and his dedication to work for you in your real estate journey. All you have to do is to go on to nagrajhomes.com. That's the first stop, Nagaraj homes.com, and join us in this conversation. We're talking real estate through and through. So if you have a question for us or an observation that you've had in the market, give us a call, 408-912-5038. And we're also live on YouTube. Nagraj Anaya is the channel. You can watch us there. Put your question down in the comment section there as well. So make sure you get in on this conversation. We'd love to hear from you, anything on your mind real estate wise. So that is a great observation, Nagraj, about investments. There's nothing sort of set in stone. You have to be able, no risk, no reward, and it could go either way, right? So just take it in its stride and move on is what you're saying.
One more thing to share, right? Like for example, you recently completed any mortgage application, right? You might have noticed as soon as you complete the mortgage application, you get a lot of spam calls. Right?
Okay.
Because what happens is like as soon as you complete your application and you submit it for the credit, right? A credit check, your contact number is shared to the lot of other mortgage people.
Mm-hmm.
It is because there are a lot of other mortgage people will be tracking on this since they completed the application, they get your numbers out there, right? How do you avoid it?
Yeah.
Right. So there are two ways you can do it. One is like there's a contact number like where you can just call 188 or like 1885 opt out, or visit optoutprescreen.com. Okay, so there you can register your number to not to get any pre-screened offers of a credit and insurance. Right.
Oh, that's great information.
Yeah, it's a 1885 opt out. Okay, or visit optoutprescreen.com. Okay, it's an easy, just enter your phone number and email ID, register for it, and you can stop receiving any mortgage calls or an insurance call. This will not impact your application. If you have completed your application, it will not impact, but you will stop getting any unwanted calls from other people. One more thing is like if you're getting a lot of telemarketing calls.
Yeah.
There's like basically what you can do is you can go and visit a do not call.gov or call 1-888-382-1222, right? You can visit do not call.gov or call 1-888-382-1222. This number, by registering it, you can stop receiving a telemarketing calls also.
I see. Wonderful. That's excellent to know because there's so much of plaguing of these spam calls and
so that's why watch out for this. You can do these two things and you can avoid it getting any calls, the telemarketing or mortgage calls.
Yeah. avoid unwanted calls, but your call is very much wanted here. So 408-912-5038 is the number, and we want and look forward to your calls and your participation in the show. So any question that you have real estate wise, make sure you call us, and also check us out on on YouTube live as well, Nagraj and Ayya's YouTube channel. And Nagraj, talking of Modgate, since you brought up these, I mean, it was regarding the spam calls, but also about mortgage. Is it possible to transfer a mortgage?
It's a great question. I think a lot of people, one answer is, one word is no, right? But reasons also, I'll tell you also, right? If it's in a traditional loan, the lender doesn't allow you to transfer it. Okay, unless there is an unexpected circumstances happens in your family, right? Then only you can transfer to your wife or something happens, right? That also it needs to be approved by your lender. Okay. For example, if you want to send it to your other people who wants to buy a house and you want to
like the seller can the seller transfer to the buyer, yeah,
that is not possible. Okay, there are some companies who are like basically investor companies, right? What they try to advertise is basically if the house is not selling for a longer time, what they do is loan would be in your name, right? Only will create some documentation such that I will be paying your loan. Right? So that way, after like when the rates drops, we can refinance it or take it out from your stuff, right? So basically what that investors are trying to do is like basically pouch on your lower interest rates, right?
Yeah.
But they will be paying it, taking it, and they will pay you the remaining money or like full money, whatever it is. But the loan would be in your name still. Advantage or disadvantage of having a loan in your name is like you can't borrow a new stuff, right? Because there's a loan already in your name.
Yeah.
But traditionally lenders doesn't allow it. There might be kind of some FHA or like unconventional loan depending on the lender to lender. They might allow you to do it, but that might be like it is not so kind of straightforward.
Yeah. So now I hear a lot like people are not even willing to sell their houses because they've locked into a lower rate also.
I think that's a great observation, right? Like,
yeah.
See, there was one house being listed in Sunnyvale. It was like basically listed for 1.8 and the seller was asking for a 2.05. That is also in a busy street. Reason he was asking in, I've already locked in for 2.25 or 2%, which is a lower interest rate, and it doesn't make sense to sell this house right now. Locking in for the lower interest rate, for them, it allows them to rent out and move to a different place also.
Okay.
Right? They can most of the times they can break it even. Or sometimes even like $500 or $1,000 deficient. Rentals are still doing really good. But if the rentals are like you're thinking about listing it to too high, it's not working out. I've seen the trend from last 2-3 months. For example, last year they used to get a $5,000 in a millipitas.
Yeah.
Now it is not going around 5,000. It is going on 4,300 or something. It is not going for high rents. It is going into a 4,300. But it's still no brainer for you if you want to logged in for the lower interest rates to sell it, right? Like that is where you can't see many inventories coming up.
Yeah. So, but another question is, from this comes up is if you've listed your house, ultimately you decided maybe you want to list the house, but it's not selling. Then what do you do?
I think one thing is like the same experience or same question I'd asked by a couple of weeks from one of my clients. They called me, Nagraj, I had listed the house, but it is not selling. What happened is for them, just tell you the story, right? Like, see, what happened is like they bought a house last year and they're trying to sell it now, right? If they need to sell the house at minimum more price, their expectations, because if they don't sell it for a little bit more, they can't break it even. So what they try to do is like, for example, they bought it for 1.3 and they need to make 1.4 to break it even, right? especially if you bought last year, this year, if you're trying to do it, you can't make it too high profit. So that is why, like when you list it, also you need to notice or you need to check what is the right price to sell. If it is not selling, right, you should watch out for the price what has been listed. If the price is very, very important. If the price is listed too low, too high, too low, you might get the offers, but that offer, if you don't accept it, or like if you like basically coming back to the, if it offer is too low, what to do to get a more right price, right? If you're listed too high, then that might be one of the offers. So one of the reasons you have received the offer, right? You should not outright reject the offer. What you should do is check with the buyer, are they willing to do take an counter, right? If they have base counter offer is like basically how it works is buyer gives one price. As seller, you can give, this is what I expect, right? Or this is what is my terms in, right? You can give one more counter. Outright, if you have only 2 offers or 3 offers, outright rejecting, instead of rejecting it, give a counter offer for that, right? So that might be the steps. I see a lot of sellers making a mistake, not even willing to give a counter offer when the price is low.
So yeah, so you should give a counter.
You should give a counter, right? Like see, so one of the house was listed for 1.485 last week in a Fremont, right? We gave them a 1.38. It is because we gave 100K based on the house where it is located and everything. As soon as we gave the offer, other buyer came in, they gave 1.42. Seller gave a counter for both of them. So one of the buyer decided to go close to the list price now.
Okay.
So they sold whatever is close to the list price now.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of outright rejecting any offers from the buyers, always the agents or the seller should encourage buyers to write what they think is the right price. Depending on number of offers you get, depending on number of terms what you get or what are the terms you get, you can give a response for that. That is very, very important when the house is not selling. If you have not got any offer, then you should think what is the price you have listed. But you have got the offers, but it is not in the right price and you are expecting more depending on the different reasons, then talk to your agent, think what is the right way to do it, give it a counter. That is that is a way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is great insight. And while you're on that, actually let's talk a little about the crazy market which is rebounding and how do people deal with that? Prices are going through the roof again, possibly because it's summertime, but
it's not only summertime. The reason is very less houses in the inventory. And already the monthly payments are too high because of the higher interest rates right now. Right. As a buyer, if you want to decide to buy a house, you need to think of, you should be a bit flexible on your payment terms, right? Like it is like you always can refinance it for after next 2 years.
Yeah.
Think your monthly payments are not kind of a way what you can afford it. There are different loan options are available. This one is called a 40-year loan. So that way your monthly payments goes down by 400K to 300K, right? And there's one more called an interest only loan, where the monthly payments go by $800. I'm just giving an example of a $1 million purchase, right? So if you are willing to buy a house, there's a ways you can do it, right? It is not like, it's only thing is you should decide you want to buy a house or not. If you want to buy a house, but your monthly payments are too low, or like too high, there are ways to work around. So within a lender, right, can give you rightly basically guided. Or maybe all the lenders doesn't have the options. That is why talking to talking to me or like kind of an expert in the mortgage, they can guide you in the stuff. When you talk to the only one lender, or like basically when you talk to the bank only, because bank only will be guiding you the only the options they have. right?
Yeah, they'll try to tailor it to what they have to.
What options they have, right? For example, they have only 20% option for a 1.5. They will not educate you. There is another 10% down options available for you.
Yeah.
Right? That's why always talk to an expert like me on the mortgage stuff. And I do, as I told you, I do a real estate, and a mortgage is basically an expertise. I try to educate my people or my clients so that they can make a right decisions on that. Right? Because both comes together. Because if you can't decide on what is a price or like where you want to do it, you can't get it in this tough market.
Yeah.
Right? As an expert, that's where I play a role.
Absolutely. And this is the place where you need the expertise. You cannot go in thinking you know it all. So leave it to the subject matter expert, where real estate is concerned, right?
Yeah. And I think we have not discussed for a long time the steps of buying a house. I think we'll next time when we have more time, we'll discuss more about the steps of buying a house and what are the things to go through in the steps of buying a house, and what are the steps of selling a house also.
Yeah.
So that is very, very important when you're doing because even first step itself, like if you're doesn't know what is your affordability, you can't even think about buying a house. What is the right thing to buy a house, right?
Yeah.
Because price or the location on type of the house, the three things plays very, very important. One of my clients called me up, Nagraj, I want to buy 1 million house, a single family home in Santa Clara. Right? Educating them for what price, what you can get.
Yes.
Or knowing what to get in what price is very, very important in this area. It is not to be disheartened when you can't get it, but you need to look for an options, right? And you should be flexible also, especially now. 2 years back during a COVID, we had bought it like saying that no need to go to office now, right?
Yeah.
You can see that things have changed.
Things have changed. So Nagraj, this is excellent. We're almost out of time, but this is, let's talk next week definitely about the steps to buying a home. And folks, your dream home is out there. Let Nagraj help you tap into it. And even if you're trying to sell the home, Nagraj is there. Use his experience to get you the best contract possible. All you have to do is to reach out to him, and that's at nagrajhomes.com, Nagaraj homes.com, and mark your calendars because we are with you every Sunday 12:30 to 1 p.m. only on Bolly 92.3 FM and YouTube Live, so make sure you join us then. Thank you, Nagraj, yet again. Wonderful show, and looking forward to talking to you next week as well. Until then, this is Vijay Lakshmi. Thank you for joining us. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.